Out the way, let's congratulate man like Troopz from AFTV on his big move. He announced earlier on today that he's leaving AFTV, and if you're not familiar, Troopz is one of the stand-up personalities on Arsenal Fan TV, a YouTube channel specifically for Arsenal fans. All that good fan channel talk that you know and love. He's one of the kind of breakout stars of that channel. But he's surprisingly announced, because I don't know the guy, but I didn't know this was in the works. But he's been tapped up by Barstool, and he's moving over to New York to essentially lead, I guess, the push for more soccer coverage on Barstool Sports, which is amazing, and I guess a life-changing opportunity for him, right? Taking his entire family over to America to get started over there and do his own thing. And he's also mentioned on the video that he's also going to have the opportunity to start his own podcast and give that a bit of a push, especially under the Barstool's umbrella. If you're familiar with Barstool Sports, which I am, you'll know that, they do a really good job in kind of providing the platform for the individual podcasts to kind of grow. They've got a really amazing machine in there that sort of works to kind of, as long as you've got the content, they're going to push it out there and give you the best possible platform to kind of reach a wider audience. And I'm assuming with the MLS really improving over the last few seasons, it feels like the MLS has really stepped up a level. There's a lot of younger players in the MLS coming through, playing for different national teams such as Germany. I think there's one Italian kid as well playing in MLS. There's a few kids that are kind of going out there in terms of kind of getting a bit of experience playing first team football, and just the standard overall is improving. So I'm sure there's been a concentrated effort to try and kind of diversify their kind of coverage on Barstool, right, which is kind of the quintessential American sports, right? You got and I think hockey, American football, basketball, baseball. You want to kind of expand it a little bit, and of course, soccer being a sleeping giant a bit in America, it seems like a great move for everybody involved. And again, it just speaks to the value of fan channels and to the value of these kind of DIY creators online that are essentially rewriting the football narrative in the UK, because unfortunately, unlike America, the football coverage in the UK is very much it's very middle class, it's very white, it's very stiff, it's very safe, and it's lacking in any kind of entertainment value, right? We don't really have a Skip and Shannon show, right? We don't really have a Stephen A. Smith character. If we do, it's just some Muppet on Talksport, right? Rattling up everybody, telling you, that supposedly, if Paul Pogba dyes his hair a certain color, that means he's not taking training seriously, right? You've got absolute Muppets running that show. So it's good to see that, especially when it's guys from ends and that are just like decided, hey, I want to kind of represent my team. I don't feel as if my team has been represented well in the media, and I want to give my opinion in it, because I think over the period of time, because I did think there was a period of time where a lot of these kind of football fan channel guys kind of felt a little bit inadequate. They kind of felt as if like, oh yeah, when you come across, or when you're standing across or sitting across from or talking to like a former pro who kind of tries to big time you and give you the former pro talk, and kind of make it seem like you don't know what you're talking about because you haven't played the game. But then the more you start talking to former pros, especially at the higher level, you realize they don't really know what they're talking about when it comes to football, especially, because for the most part, if you've got the natural ability to play for some of the bigger clubs in the UK, you don't really think about your game that much. You don't really articulate what kind of goes into making you play that way or why your team perform that way, because you're just used to playing with the best talent in the world. But you go down lower in the leagues, you talk to the guys in League One, guys in League Two, the guys playing in conference, you start to see, okay, these are the people that actually really understand football, because what ends up happening is that you end up bumping into people that actually love the game of football and not just in it for the money. They're not just in it for the, because they've got nothing else to do, which is what you think, which is the impression I get from a lot of people on Sky Sports. They just don't have anything else to do, right? They're middle-aged white men who have essentially spent most of their lives playing football, right? Being absent from their families, drinking themselves silly. So the last thing they want to doing is being at home with their wife and children hanging out. They want to just kind of constantly be around football. So you go up to Sky Sports, you film 8-hour segments, you rant and rave about somebody's color of boots, as if that's kind of good, analysis, and then you go home and you just keep collecting your checks. So it's good to see these guys kind of disrupting things a little bit. And yeah, I'm happy for Troopz, man. Well done for him. I think again, it just goes to show, if you kind of represent yourself in the truest way possible on this platform, there are kind of opportunities that will open themselves up to you, because I think there can be a tendency maybe to get a bit, to kind of conform one way or the other. But I do think, especially if you're, if you've got a sports channel or whatever it may be on YouTube, whatever you're doing, you do owe it to yourself to kind of be to sort of like speak your truth, because like your Lumpit, you'd rather kind of build a fan base based upon something that you actually think, no, based on your actual real beliefs and not on just some caricature you're trying to play. That's why I think that kind of Sky Sports match of the day punditry will never work on YouTube, because it's not the realness, right? People want to hear the realness. So when these guys give people the realness and fans kind of flock to them because this is what you're talking about with your friends on a group chat, in barbershops, on the street corner, wherever you may be, it's no surprise that these media companies will see what's going on there. They see the traction, they see the engagement, and they're like, you know what? Let's give this guy a push. Let's take him to the next level. And then, and here we are, man. So big up Troopz, and hopefully we see more of what he's doing when he gets over there in the States. But that's a flipping great opportunity. And again, like, you have to kind of, when those opportunities come your way, you have to kind of take advantage of them, regardless of what may transpire later on down the line. I think just having this opportunity in the first place is a win in itself. So yeah, big up that guy.